Welcome to Greenway Audio Magazine. I am Tim, and with me is Brandon. Brandon, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm super excited to welcome our guest this week.
Yeah, who is that?
She's right there.
Oh my God. It's Kyra
She's already here.
From NatureMed. She's marketing manager over at NatureMed and longtime friend of us and of the show, kind of, right?
Yeah.
We could
She's
say
been
that.
name dropped a lot of times.
Oh, you were name dropped like episode 1, I think.
Oh my gosh. I've been a long-time fan too.
So, that's what happens when you give Tim tickets to a soccer match. You get name dropped early and often.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll have to go visit Ambush again soon.
Yes. We will get into that. Trust me. Okay. So Kyra, NatureMed. So there are 5 locations in Missouri, KC, St. Louis, Gladstone, Independence, O'Fallon, and you're also in Arizona. Is that correct?
Yep.
Do you just have one location in Arizona?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Out in Tucson. It's a really actually very gorgeous location. They've got like
You've been there?
I haven't yet, but hopefully sometime soon. I've seen so many pictures. They just redid their like lobby and sales floor, and they have this green wall. Oh, it's to die for.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kyra, you're a veteran in the industry. I mean, you're officially a veteran.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah. I mean, like, how many years have you've been what?
I just renewed my agent ID for the first time, so this is year 4.
Yeah, that's veteran status.
Heck yeah.
I mean, in fairness, we've only had an industry for officially for going 5 years and a few months, depending on where you start from. But if you go from first sale, it's just a little over 5 years. If you go from the companies being awarded licenses, it's 6 years. But
right,
you've been here for 80% of the time now. Congratulations.
It's been an honor.
Yeah. I met you when you were with Teal.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That was
Back
such
in the
a
day.
fun time.
Oh yeah. That was great. Okay, so now that you're the marketing manager, that entails a lot. I'm sure on the is this on the marketing with your retail locations? Are you working with other brands? Tell us what your role entails.
Yeah,
because that is a umbrella when you say marketing manager. There's a lot that goes into it.
Okay, so you do marketing, cool.
Right.
Yeah, so actually this year we are opening 4 locations in Kentucky. We have 4 to 5 dispensaries that are opening up and a cultivation, so that'll be really fun. We're moving our brands from Arizona out to Kentucky, so we will have lots to play with. But overall, my job has been kind of a little bit of everything. When I came into this position, we didn't have a super solidified Missouri team yet, as far as like daily functions and technical pieces go. So when I came in, it was my main goal to kind of help set up, solidify, and make everything efficient. And now we have, honestly, kind of a rock star team that is mostly out in Kansas City, that I get to just honestly have the pleasure of working with every day. And now as we bring online more stores, I'm helping with kind of more of the overhead of, how do we manage marketing in a really restricted, medical situation again, right? Like we came from here in Missouri. But yeah, my day-to-day is a lot of meetings, which I love talking to people, so that's really okay with me. And, helping everybody kind of stay on the same page, keep moving in the same direction, and keep our eyes on whatever campaign we're kind of championing at the time.
Now, as you guys move into Kentucky and in Arizona, your NatureMed is a vertical. Yeah. In Missouri, you're retail.
Mm-hmm.
And so the responsibilities on the marketing end are considerably different and different approaches. In Kentucky, you kind of have a little bit of an advantage on the retail side and on the wholesale side, because your retail supports your brands support your retail, and it's like an infinite loop system. And so what is the difference in the strategy as you go towards Kentucky in introducing people to your brands and trying to get them in the door to your retail versus Missouri, where you're working with all your brand partners to get people to your location as opposed to the location down the street or across the road or what have you?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's been something that's been bopping around in my head for probably the last 8 months. Um, I think for us as a company, we are very people forward. So our main goal in our space is to become the source of all things cannabis for you. We want to be able to provide education for you. We want to make you comfortable in a dispensary environment. You know, we're not looking to be the person that has it all, but we do really think that what we carry is the highest quality offered in Missouri. And our bud tenders know from top to bottom all of our products. They get great education directly from all our brand partners, which is super cool. We also have some back end to like general education tools that we use. And I think just coming into a new market that is medical first and medical only, it has been our main strategy to push that. So making sure that we are approachable, we are open, and we're speaking in a language that's easy to connect with. I think a thing that's easy to do is you want to come in and act authoritative, right? You want to be a source for people. Some companies toe that line between probably a little bit too authoritative, and then your customer gets alienated and you can't quite connect the same way as, say, Nature Med, where you come in with a question and we're happy to talk to you for 30-45 minutes during a transaction. Like, our goal is not to get you in and out of that door. Our goal is to make sure that when you're in our space, you have the time and the appropriate environment to open up and ask questions and really learn about what it is that cannabis can do for you.
Good answer. Good answer.
Great answer.
Family Feud style. Good answer.
Good answer.
Number three on the board. 36 points. One of the things that you said there that really caught my attention was authoritative, and I think especially in the environment that we live in nowadays, people kind of see that word and there's some negative connotation to it. But what I took away from it was that you're trying to be the brand and the staff and the people that are confident enough to stand behind your answer, essentially, and confident enough to make the people that are coming to you feel comfortable, that you're not just, pardon my French here, we never cuss or say anything out of pocket on this podcast. But you're a brand that is not talking out of its ass. You understand and are trying to pass along knowledge rather than just throw a sales pitch and some gimmicky words and stuff. Is that, am I reading that correctly from your exercise of the word authoritative?
Yeah, for sure. It's more we just want to be the person that you trust to come ask the harder questions to. I know cannabis involves a lot of subchemicals and different impacts to your system. And honestly, it's a system that nobody gets taught in school. Your endocannabinoid system is not, something that you get taught along with your digestive system, which is honestly to me a shame. But if we can help bridge that education gap and help you unlock something that maybe mitigates your pain or helps you just think clearer and live a more enjoyable life, quality of life is very important. And so I think that, yeah, it's not as much authority from a we know better than you standpoint. It's authority from a we'd really like to help you standpoint.
You guys have done some cool stuff with education, whether it's been blogs, whether it's been information pieces and pamphlets and stuff that you guys have passed out. What, as you go into a new market again, and I love that we have the opportunity to talk about, where we've been and where you guys are going right now. as you go into a new market, what lessons are you taking from the questions that Missouri patients had during medical and even in the transition to adult use, where you got a flood of new people that maybe they weren't coming in for medical, but they have all kinds of questions too. What are the educational lessons what are the educational lessons that are first and foremost on your agenda for ingratiating your company and your brands to Kentucky consumers and patients, and the things that you're planning to address right off the bat to let them know, hey, this is what you guys are about to find out about. This is what we're here for.
Yeah. I think first and foremost, really just awareness. We do partnerships with the KCIA and Normal, so we're trying to make sure that we're available to patients. I actually got to visit Paducah, where one of our locations is going to be last year at the end of the year for one of their conventions, and just talking to some of the patients. It seems like it's very similar to Missouri. I was with Teal at the time, and it was cool to see, from Teal's perspective, they really shine in quality, right? And when you're in a medical market, quality is going to be something that is top of mind for your customers. So kind of shifting back to ensuring like what we are toting as our top products are the higher quality products that are going to get the patients the results that they are hoping to find. But along with that, I think I've actually started building the back end of the blog for Kentucky along with Angel, who does all of our Missouri blogs. And something we talked about a lot as we started building that was like, well, where do you even start? And actually, the first place that we decided to start was the laws, because not everything's the same. Fun fact, in Kentucky, you can't smoke weed. You don't smoke it. You can vaporize it and you can eat it, but there's no smoking. So you're not going to see a bong on the shelf next to your flower.
So no
at
flower.
The shop. No, you can purchase flour, but it is under the assumption that you're going to use either a vaporization device or you're going to cook it into food.
Oh.
So it's the same way that we used to get by with selling bongs in head shops and stuff. This is the intended use for this?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Water pipe situation.
Yeah.
Got it.
There was definitely not anyone ever smoking marijuana out of those 6-foot glass pipes at the record store that definitely smelled like weed.
Yeah, it was definitely not that.
It was just irony. It was the strangest thing.
Decoration, yeah.
Dr. Green Thumb played on loop 24/7, but no one there knew what you were talking about.
Right.
That kind of opens an interesting point as well. Is Kentucky has famously been one of the biggest leaders in the hemp industry. And so you guys are going to be one of the first groups as Kentucky's phasing its hemp industry out, both, in a state way and in a, federal way. As the laws become more restrictive in Kentucky and either bring us to a point where there is little to no hemp industry as far as intoxicating hemp, there's still going to be a huge CBD industry, a huge fiber hemp industry there. But as far as intoxicating products, you guys are going to be one of the first wave to kind of guide those consumers that are used to going to a gas station or a convenience store or something like that into dispensaries. Have you started brainstorming ideas on how you phase them from the convenience store and funnel them into the dispensary doors and say, hi, we're Nature Med, we're your local drug dealer?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually kind of glad you brought this up, because I think the last 3 or 4 months since, a lot of these changes have started to come around, I've sat with my team and had these conversations and just kind of brainstormed on like, what is the best approach? How do we make sure that people understand that like we're not trying to usurp this, other industry. We're not trying to say that it's all bad. But we do want to provide enough education for people to understand the difference between hemp and hemp intoxicating products versus cannabis and cannabis derived intoxicating products. Really, we focus there in those conversations on quality of products, safety of products. The testing is just a big point that we can fall back on every time and be like, we have state-backed testing facilities, and these testing facilities are held to certain standards. Whereas, in my younger years, there were a few hemp-derived intoxicating products that I may have tried, and, they would give you this COA. So you're going on a website and it's linking to California or Amsterdam or something like just weird and remote, and you're looking through this and it's saying, okay, we're good on heavy metals and okay, we're good on this, but like there's no details. Unlike in Missouri, when you pull a COA that's held in metric, you get everything, every terpene, every limit for every metal that could possibly be in there, fungus, bacteria. I mean, they are taking our safety very seriously, which I, as a patient, have always appreciated. But in those hemp conversations, we've been working to kind of build a hemp landing page for our websites to help work in tandem with what MoCan has built out. Because we really believe that, it's not necessarily that the intent of hemp products are to do bad things to you, right? The intent of hemp products are to help you find the same relief that we are trying to help you find. And we just want to help everybody understand that because of our licensing, because we are held to certain standards, because all of the brands in Missouri that we sell are held to those same standards, we know that when we are getting a product from a company here and we are then giving it to a patient that needs pain relief or that needs help with mobility, we know that that is safe for them to ingest, because we're still really just in the background medically minded. Especially personally for me, like this is a great source of pain management. And so just knowing that like it is as safe as the federally, controlled Tylenol you get off the shelf or whatever.
Oh, that gives you autism.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sure, ibuprofen, but that throws me into anaphylaxis, so.
Oh, right. So
your only alternative is weed.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
Hey guys, do I have news for you? Quick heads up, Kind Goods just opened their 6th location in Maryland Heights, right off 270 on Dorset, and the place is a vibe. They're Missouri's OG deli-style dispensary, so you can actually walk in, see the flower, look at it, maybe get a sniff, talk to the people who really know their stuff, and shop without any pressure. Take your time, figure out what you want. The store's super welcoming, the staff's amazing, the selection is huge, and it just makes the whole experience easy. You know I love it easy. So if you're in the area, you're heading toward a show, swing by the new Kind Goods on Dorset. Let them know that we sent you. Tell them Greenway Audio Magazine. Good vibes, great products. You'll get it as soon as you walk in.
So Kyra, you're mentioning, I think you were referring to the Know Your Cannabis campaign
Yes.
that MoCan was doing. If we could just switch gears a little bit, because I really want to geek out on the marketing branding side, is one of the best parts about working in the cannabis space, especially on the marketing side, is you get to be creative and you get to come up with new ideas, in a fairly new market.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a blank canvas, What are some of the, I know some of your campaigns are freaking awesome. I know your Week of Love, your Month of Love is coming up. That's February, right? I would
Yep,
assume.
that'll be
Okay.
all fed.
Let's get into that. Like, let's get into some of the campaigns that you have been able to come up with, work on, collaborate, with internally. Like, let's talk about some of that stuff. That's my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. It's so fun. Definitely getting to create campaigns and come up with different ways to connect with our customers. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do, especially on that higher level. Now that we're in 3 different states, we get to work across the board together, which is just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Our month of love this year actually expanded from last year, which was a week of love. And this year, we're going to focus each week on a different type of love, from family and friends to romantic partnerships and those kinds of things, and just talk about connection and how cannabis kind of connects us all and helps us find, not only love for ourselves again, but helps us have the grace with ourselves to then find love for other people.
You said
So
one of your
well
weeks
said.
is gonna, one of the weeks is gonna be dedicated to self love, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that as like a mental health, standpoint.
Yeah.
Because as much as we talk about how great weed is for pain relief and things like that, there's a lot of things that just, whether it's anxiety, whether it's, eating disorders, depression. Some of those things can be made worse by weed. I will not be the person that claims that weed fixes everything, but there's a lot of things, especially like mental symptoms, even if it's just fatigue, that can be alleviated by that. So I love the self-love thing. I know I just wanted to pop in the mental health aspect.
Please.
I know we've got more to get to, but I wanted to show appreciation for that.
The mental health aspect is massive, especially today. I don't know, these days.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
Right now.
extremely important. I feel like it's a topic of conversation. It used to be, on the back burner, and it would be like something people might bring up after conversing with somebody for a couple hours, where you feel kind of safe. I don't feel like that's the case anymore. I even had a conversation with somebody last night, and it was the first thing we talked about.
That's
usually
awesome.
that's something down the line,
Yeah.
and now it's at the forefront. And, when we talk about cannabis and some of the benefits, the mental aspect is massive. I can just say, personally, my journey into cannabis started from gummies at night going to sleep. And, I had a close friend, cannabis changed his life, and I was like, all right, cool. And then he was like, you can't sleep. Like, why wouldn't you try it? I'm like, oh, that's not for me. That's for other people,
Yeah.
And then one night, I tried a gummy, and my whole deal was I couldn't sleep because my mind wouldn't stop. It would not shut off. If I could get to sleep, if I got up for any reason, night's over. My brain took over, and it would not allow me to go back to bed. And
Gotta
so when I took
that hamster.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I did. So
Truly.
I took a gummy, and I remember sitting there and talking to my wife, and then all of a sudden I go, what was I saying? And she's like, oh my God, it's working. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is. Like, literally, I felt like an old computer powering down, like,
Just like,
and I was able to breathe. Like, I remember exhaling, and being like, oh my gosh.
Kelly,
Holy
insert
cow.
Kelly Clarkson song here.
Yeah,
I can breathe
exactly.
for the first time. I'm somewhere with
Yeah. I mean, it was a relief. It gave my brain a break. It gave my body a break. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And that is what changed my life with my relationship with cannabis, was the mental aspect, the mental health aspect, which led into a good night's sleep, which will affect physical and mental health.
Everything
So
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's my little spiel. But talking about love, month of love, and mental health aspects, Jesus, we should be talking about that all the time. You
I
know,
know,
So
especially
interesting to
with
see two
cannabis.
smart people. It's so interesting to see two smart people like identify with we need to shut our brains off, and I'm over here like, give me a fucking set of jumper cables to my ears to try and turn this motherfucker on, you know?
Oh, come on. Give yourself more credit than
Stop.
that. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
So
Okay, so
reefer
we got
madness comes after.
yeah, that's the next one.
Wait. I gotta do my bit. So actually, my
Yeah,
real reason that I
please.
started cannabis in any capacity was I have suffered from anxiety my entire life because my brain doesn't stop. I have what I like to call 40 trains running on probably like 30 tracks, and then they just collide at random points. And cannabis, finally gave me this space between my emotions and who I actually am. And that space allowed me to really absorb the fact that, like, I'm not my anxiety. I'm not the depression I've suffered with for years. I'm something else. And when you have just that space, that calmness, that blanket of comfort around you that cannabis can provide, it's easier to face your demons and make friends, dude. Like, if I have to sit there and be like, I am terrified of this, at least if I have cannabis sitting next to me, I know that I'm not alone in this and I can sit with it and have a conversation with it and reflect on it and then, integrate it. Whereas before it was just constant panic and one thing after another would just compound and compound, and then I was left with a pile and then I was just anxious.
Yeah, very true. There's one of the things that I noticed is you constantly got you got dialogue going on in your head 24/7, no matter what, and the majority of the time you think that's you and you should be listening to it, and it's not. It's just shit, but after a while you're thinking, well, those are my thoughts. That's what I'm thinking. And um when you partake or you take a puff or take a gummy, you're able to kind of sit down and go, shut up, like to the
Mm-hmm.
to the to the dialogue, like, I
Yeah.
don't that's not true, and I'm not going to listen to that right now. I'm relaxing and enjoying myself. And that was some of the first times I've actually been able to uh it sounds weird, tell the voices to stop, but you know what I'm saying.
Think.
The
Yeah.
dialogue, everyone has an internal
Mm-hmm.
dialogue,
Yep.
and it's not right. It's not the end all be all. It's not
No.
like, it shouldn't be leading you all day and all night with all of your decisions. Sometimes it helps you work things out, but it's not telling you the right stuff to do all the time,
No.
and so anyway, cannabis did help me on that aspect as well.
I know we're supposed to be talking about marketing, but while we're having group therapy,
Let's go.
Might as
no,
well.
Let's do
no
it.
bullshit. Like, I teared up
It's
a
all
little bit.
Yeah.
I want
it's
to I want
all
to ask a question. Do you
Mhm.
guys dream?
Oh, every night in full HD Technicolor, I can feel, taste, touch, smell. I can control it sometimes if I want to.
What?
Absolutely. Oh, my dream world has been so vivid since I was a child. Like, I live a whole other multiple lives in my nighttime.
Does it enhance? Does cannabis help or hinder that?
Doesn't impact it
Doesn't
at all
doesn't affect
because
it at fucking all.
no, because I
Interesting.
built this as a child, so I've always been really afraid of
Amazing.
ghosts, interested in spiritual stuff. And when I was a kid, I had nightmares all the time. Night terrors. I would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. And my dad taught me really early on. He was like, "You have control of this. I know it doesn't feel like it, but like, why don't you start journaling your dreams?" And so if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd just write it down. And then I found out, well, once it's on paper, it's no longer stuck in my head and I can just go back to sleep. And then that turned into journaling all of my dreams. And that turned into some of those coming true because of the predictive nature of the human mind. And it also has provided a great reflection point for my inner world because, sometimes you have a dream and you're like, well, why was I running away from some girl I met 2 weeks ago that I know nothing about well, okay, it's just my fear of control or something. It's a cool subcontext that I have to my life.
That's amazing. Do you dream, Timbo?
I probably took a couple decades off, and then I started about a couple years ago. I started taking like magnesium before I went to bed because it
Hmm.
it helps, and I
Same.
started taking this stuff, magnesium L-threonate, and it's a supplement, and boom, dreams back,
Wow.
full on dreams. So that's nice. I will say this, Kyra, to take your journaling thing a little weirder. When I was in high school and college,
Mm.
I was, huge into music and bands and all this kind of stuff. I had a 4-track recorder next to my bed with a microphone. And when I would get up from a dream, I would hit record and I would
No way.
talk about the dream into it. And then I'd put music over it the next day.
Okay,
I
I
have
want to hear
like
that. That
dozens
sounds
of
awesome.
dreams from like 18 to 22. Like I still have them.
That's so cool.
You guys are
Isn't that
both
crazy?
fucking super
That's
cool
awesome.
and like it's got to be a high functioning intelligence thing where you guys dream
No.
because your brain works good.
No, I needed supplements.
I think it's ADHD
I
and
needed
autism.
supplements.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon? Do you dream at all?
No. I've had like
Not at all.
I had night terrors until I was like 13, so I had vivid dreams for a long time. And then I've maybe had like 5 or 6 dreams since like 15. I remember all of them. But that's it. Like, hey, I go to bed at night, my brain shuts off, it's fucking black. There's no thoughts, there's no
Wow.
fucking
That's amazing.
It's just like, oh, power off on the fucking fat guy, and then the sun comes
so
up, the
peaceful.
alarm comes up, and it fucking like the alarm is like kicking on the programmed coffee maker whenever from that your grandma and them had like in the 90s where it's 5 a.m. and it immediately starts dropping into the pot.
Yeah.
Like as soon as my alarm goes off, I'm fully like conscious,
That's amazing.
cognizant, feet off the bed and on the floor and off and running and getting breakfast for the kids, taking the dogs out. Like it's immediately just like there is no thought or dream in the blackness. It's just black. And then whenever you turn the power on, the machine immediately goes back to machining.
Jeez. Huh.
And
wow.
And so the few times I've dreamed, like I remember them super vividly because it doesn't ever happen. It's like it's like I watched a movie that night. And so I remember it forever. So yeah, anyway, Reefer Madness is where we were going with the next thing.
Absolutely. That's our classic.
Hang on tight, guys. This one's got 40 trains and 30 tracks.
That's my fault.
They're all crashing into each other at one time.
This is so great.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Oh.
So we got Reefer Madness coming up.
Yes.
That's, I'm assuming, March, April. What is it? When is that? March? Okay. Yep.
It's our March Madness, so classic bracket system.
Reefer Madness, March Madness. Got it.
We originally started with, the March Madness theming. It was basketball themed. We're doing brackets. We've got mini hoops and balls. That was our first year.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of evolved into this little inside joke where, I'm not much of a sport girly. And so now it's just our sport campaign. And so this year we have the World Cup coming up, and the World Cup is coming to Kansas City, which we have 3 locations at. We're really excited about, and we are actually incorporating soccer into our Reefer Madness campaign this year. So we're going to do soccer jerseys, and we may or may not have a fun little partnership with Ambush on that one. We are going to be doing our classic, just head-to-head battle with all of our brands. Not sure who has locked in yet, but I know, last year we had a really, really close win. Vivid came in number one, but I believe we were only about 3 sales behind with Sense.
Wow.
So it was a very close battle last year.
That's amazing. Hey, wait, Kyra, can we back up a second? I feel like you were a high school / college athlete. Were you not?
No, I actually did more the marching band vibe. I a long time ago used to play volleyball and soccer though, so
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
A little bit in that in me.
I knew that. Okay. I knew there was something.
I'm not into sports.
Yeah,
but I may have gone to college to play sports.
I just was like really athletic.
At college, I was doing computer science and art school, so I didn't have time for sports anymore.
Yeah,
had 2 degrees to chase after.
Where is who loves soccer over there at Nature Med? Because the fact that you guys with the ambush and then with the World Cup, I mean, like it's amazing. Like that, we've talked countless times about the ambush partnership. I just absolutely love it. I'm a huge ambush fan.
Football.
How long? How has that been going? I know I've gone to a game with you. I've been a guest in the Nature Med suite, and it was amazing. How has that relationship been? I know Shelly, the owner, one of the owners there, she's fantastic. The whole organization is great. How has your experience been with them?
It's been amazing, honestly. This year's really exciting because they've added a few new members to their team. So they've got a lovely lady who's running all their social media strategy and helping us nail down, newsletter graphics and those kinds of things. And obviously Shelly is always just so sweet. She sent me some pictures of the team playing at their last game with our dasher board in the background. And this year I got to design it with our little Nature Med guy kicking a soccer ball around. So it was just a cute little moment.
It's so cool.
But they're so fun to work with because they just do stuff like that. They're like, hey, look at these cute pictures we caught. Or, hey, you guys, we're going to have this dinner and would love to have some Nature Med team members there. Or, like even when we show up for booths, it's Shelly drops by. We see Ryan. We see soccer team members. And it's always, really great to put smiles on people's faces and just hand them a sticker and be like, hey, it's so great to be here. Thanks for having us. Because soccer is, I don't know how we got into this, but it is just a mutual shared love of all of ours. I think Ambush is a unique community component to St. Charles, in my opinion.
It is.
And I think just like our heart is in the community. So it was one of the earlier partnerships they chose. And it's been great to continue to carry that torch with them because it's just so fun. The games are a great atmosphere. It's honestly really family minded, which you would think bringing cannabis into a family space would be complicated.
Right.
And it is sometimes. We've had lots of those conversations, but they are so wholeheartedly supportive of cannabis and how we specifically approach cannabis that they trust us to have that authority, to be that source so that we can sit at the games and, a kid or two is probably going to swipe a sticker, but it doesn't say weed on it. It's got a cute little face on it. And maybe they snag a bracelet or whatever. But meanwhile, we're talking with their parents and asking them, what would you use cannabis for? Do you have anything specific you're looking for? And sometimes those conversations get really interesting. Especially with I would say the 55-60 crowd are really curious right now. And they're some of my favorite people to talk to about cannabis because they have so many questions and they make for great conversations.
That's really interesting. I've told you this before, but the first time I saw advertising for Nature Med, I got emotional because it was the first time that I had seen a crossover, especially in Missouri, that was that big and went into the sports arena, literally. And I was like blown away, but I was immediately met with nervousness and a little bit of fear with how it would be, how people would respond, because like you said, it is very family friendly. It is majority kids running around, And that is the place that you bring your kids. That's why why I had season tickets for 10 years, is because I brought my kids to every game, and so many great memories and everything. And I remember the first time I saw one of your tables, I literally kind of like stood on the other side of the concourse to watch, just to see like what the interactions were like. And it was fine. Like it was great. I mean, everybody knew what it was. People were coming up, but there was no like, oh my God, turn your head, get the kids away, anything like that. It was very communal, I felt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really cool experience, my first booth there. You know, I was very nervous about that as well, coming from Teal, where I was on the brand side and I didn't have to, connect in these spaces that also had kids. I was more focused on connecting with dispensaries. And so this was a really unique challenge, but also just kind of a scary opportunity to be like, okay, we are really putting ourselves out here and really talking about something that is controversial. We may have some negative reactions. We may see a parent go, okay, kiddo, like, and, obviously I'm not offended by that, but it is something I always take note of. Um, but yeah, really, I think those who don't want to engage just kind of scoot on by, and those who are interested either send their kids along and come talk to us or bring them on by and are honest and just be like, yeah, this isn't for you, but I want to talk to these people for a second.
Well, it's the same thing. Um, in so many ways, we treat cannabis so differently than alcohol and tobacco and things like that, but it's really the same concept. Like,
Yeah.
this is mommy daddy candy, this is mommy daddy beverages, this is mommy daddy smokos. Your cigarettes are the little Marlboro 72s that fit in your little hand. um can convince me that Marlboro 72s weren't made to fit in a toddler's hand, because that's what I smoke, and they look ridiculous whenever I hold them. Um, they fit great in my 8-year-old's hand. That's all I'm saying. The reality, like the taking the levity back out of this situation for a second, is the way that we normalize and the way we destigmatize is by doing the things that you guys are doing. And whenever you're talking about, a lot of these marketing campaigns, and as you go into Kentucky, Reefer Madness is going to be a huge marketing campaign in Kentucky, the home of the Wildcats. Rawr, Louisville.
Mhm.
You guys are going to have so many opportunities to wrap, the spirit of college basketball and Kentucky doesn't have a single pro team, as far as like MLB, NFL, all that, but they have so many college
Oh yeah.
enthusiasts that it's such a huge thing. Sports is such a huge part of life down there. And the fact that so many of your marketing efforts here in Missouri are both thematic but also community based. You have these partnerships with the Ambush, but you also do things like your back to school engagements, where you're doing school drives, you're doing coat drives in the winter. It seems like you guys are representing the best face of what cannabis can be, which is, it's an adult product, it's a medical product, but it's no different than anything else. We're a part of the community, right? And so again, you guys have established that here. How are you bridging what you're doing here this year and all the things that you're setting up for, like the World Cup and stuff like that, with at the same time building a whole new outreach campaign and an outreach strategy to introduce yourselves and ingratiate yourselves to these communities in Kentucky?
That's a very good question. I think typically for us, we we start with our templated campaigns that we know have been working and kind of work from there. So we'll take something like a Reek for Madness and then go to the new location and look at, what's going on in the community, like the Wildcats, and how can we connect with them. And I don't know exactly how willing those partnerships will be in the beginning of this medical space in Kentucky, but over time, we'll reach out again and again and just see if there's any chance for partnership. I know that's how we got in with Ambush, so it's really cool to see just kind of how naturally our values sit in our campaigns. That lends itself to being, I don't know, not easy, but a little more easy to navigate in a new state.
Need a little spark to brighten up your day? I know I do. Well, meet the new Thrive all-in-one vape from Curio Wellness. It's a 1 gram all-in-one vape pen from their Best Self collection, which is coming out soon. Blending THC with carotene, limonene, and linalool for that perfect lemon lift. Imagine crisp citrus with a hint of pine. It's all in a portable, rechargeable pen that's ready when you are. So if you're looking for your daily spark, Thrive. It's got you covered. Basically, it's your new favorite sidekick, like Brandon for me. Check it out, everybody. Thrive, all-in-one vape from Curio Wellness. So one thing that I keep thinking about is how much you guys nailed your name. I mean, if you just think about Nature Med, I mean, that is what this is, you know? And you guys nailed that really quick. I love that. Did that come from somebody here? I mean, I assume. Do you know who came up with that?
I honestly don't know the full origin of the name. I know that our colors come from the fact that we were in old John Deere warehouse, so green and yellow.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. And that came from our first Arizona setup days. We've got fun little lore like that, but I think honestly Nature Med was one of those things that was just so intuitive.
Yeah.
And leadership was like, well, yeah, it's Nature Med.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to see. I know we've had a couple of other companies come in with similar names. Nature's Medicine is one that is always like on the top of my mind as a concern for being confused with things. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we don't have that in Missouri anymore, but other states still have it. So every once in a while, people be like, oh, you're Nature's Med. I'm like, well, actually, it's Nature Med, but yeah.
Interesting.
May have fucked that one up myself a time or two.
Hey, it's an honest mistake. It wouldn't be a big deal if there wasn't another company so closely named.
Yeah. Oh,
luckily we're in the cannabis industry, and so many names are so distinct, and there's not a whole lot of overlap with like the word leaf or green or anything like that. At least we don't have. At least there's not like a magazine going around being like, this is the Greenway, guys.
Yeah, or a green frame. Yeah.
Cotton-headed ninny muggins is, I
that's
tell
right.
you.
That's what we are. Oh my gosh.
It may be January. I'm still watching Elf. I don't care. What
really?
You say.
You watch it past the dates? Do you still have your Christmas lights up?
I took my tree down literally the day after Christmas Day night. Whenever I got back from dropping off my kids, my tree was down. I was over the holidays this year. I was burnt out. 2025 was rough. I was ready to turn the page on 2026, and so far it's been really, really good. 2026 has been really great up until the last week. And the last week was a fun bonanza extravaganza. But 2026 is
cool. I still have hope. For 2026.
We're not even a full month in. We got this.
As Ted Lasso says, it's the hope that kills you.
I know it is.
Well, that certainly is a perspective, yeah.
That's what this pain is right here.
No, 2026 is going to be awesome. And I know that because the World Cup is going to be in Kansas City. We're going to be buying weed at Nature Med while we're going to see World Cup games. And it's just going to be a delightful tournament of love.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like that. Mm-hmm. One of my last questions. Where the hell is Gladstone? Where's Gladstone, Missouri?
So it's actually Kansas City, Missouri.
Is it?
So you
Okay.
know how St. Louis has Creve Coeur, Maryland Heights, and Baldwin, and Clayton, and
Okay.
it's literally that. It's not even 3-4 miles from our Kansas City location.
Oh,
So
all
it's
right.
tucked into a little more of a residential area than our other
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been, I've been going to the southeast side of Missouri a lot recently, and then a couple weeks ago, I drove to Iowa State, and there were a lot of towns I'd never heard of, and so I was curious if Gladstone was, on the north or the south side, but they're right outside of KC. Okay.
Yeah.
Next time you're in Southeast Missouri, you will be very, very close to their Paducah location.
Yes.
That's right. How close is
right down
Paducah
there.
from the Missouri border?
Oh, very, very.
Yeah.
From my house, which is in like Maryland Heights area, it's only 3 hours to get to Paducah from here. So
If you're in like Cape or Sykeston, you're like less than an hour, less than a half hour
45
away from
minutes.
Paducah, I think.
yeah.
I could just Google that right now so that none of
Oh,
us
you could.
are that wrong.
I forget the internet exists sometimes still.
I know here's how close I know it is. I was in Cape Girardeau as a elementary school kid, and KFVS 12 down there covers Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and Missouri.
Mhm.
And it's like Paducah, Cape Girardeau, Sykeston, Metropolis, like that whole area.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half from Cape Girardeau to Paducah, but from
Okay.
like
Okay.
Cairo, which is still
That's
part of
nothing.
Missouri, it's only about 40 minutes. So it looks
Missouri
like.
continues to blow my mind. I've lived here a
It's
majority
a
of my
really
life,
weird state.
and
I've
it is
lived
a
here my whole
freaking
life.
weird state. I had no idea the north half existed. I didn't know Southeast Missouri existed. And I've been all
That's
over
fair.
both sides, and I'm like, this state is freaking huge.
It's massive, and honestly, I think it's hilarious that cannabis is what taught me Missouri.
Same.
Yep. All
I
the
mean-
Sorry,
just
I got
like
distracted by Cairo.
that's fair.
I mean, literally from tip to tip, you're probably talking 8 hours. I mean,
You
honestly,
gotta-
from
Bro, this is the second week in a row. You got to stop saying tip to tip.
did I say tip to tip?
You
Last week too?
got to stop saying tip
Tip to tip. But yeah, I mean that's insane. If I drive
Soup
8
to nuts,
hours,
it's about 8. You know.
soup
Yeah.
to nuts.
So
if I
missed
drive-
that one.
If I drive 8 hours, I want to end up at a beach. I don't want
Right.
to still
Well,
be
you
in
can if
Missouri.
you
Not
go the other
being-
direction.
The same, yeah. That's true. There is a
Actually,
mistake.
you can get to if you're in Cairo. Well, if
Yeah.
you're in Cairo, Missouri, you can get to the Gulf of Mexico in about 3 hours. Or you can drive
really?
3 hours
What?
and be. I may have just completely made that up.
I mean, that's okay too. I make stuff up all the time.
So
Especially geographically, I have no clue what's going on there.
here is my thing. Is that I listen to people when they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hang on,
And then it
because
just goes
apparently
fact,
Cairo,
goes in
Missouri
the head.
is not
Then
where I
they
thought it was. Are there 2 Cairo, Missouris?
Oh, no.
Let's fix.
I don't even
this
know
real
what that
quick.
is.
There's a Cairo, Illinois.
Maybe I was looking at Illinois this whole time.
Maybe. Oh, because Cairo's more like mid.
I've listened
Okay.
and I've quoted this shit so many
Oh, no.
times.
Yeah, I have a
from
few of
state
those.
representative from a state representative from like the Sykeston area
A+.
that has told me multiple times I can get in my car and I can be at the
That's how they talk.
at
Huh?
the Gulf of America before I can be in Jefferson City.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Yeah.
just a bold-faced lie. I'm not going to call him out right now. I'm not going to do that to him. But it says 9 hours. No, I mean you could you could take straighter pathways than what I'm looking at here, but it's still going to be probably 7 to 8 hours from the southern tip of Missouri to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
And but if you're in Sikeston, Missouri, and you go to the northern tip of Missouri, that's probably also an 8-hour drive. We've really gotten off the rails here is what's happening.
No, let's keep going.
One of the trains crashed, I think.
Yeah, it crashed back there in Sikeston.
That's okay.
Do you know, here's the funny thing about Sikeston. I am going to go to the Sikeston rodeo.
Fuck yeah, you are, baby.
I don't think I've ever been to a rodeo. But
Dude,
there's some business to be done. And so I was looking at the website the other day. Can I just giggle for a second here?
Yeah.
So it shows like all the artists, the musical guests that are going to be there. And someone told me last year they had Big X the Plug there, which was very interesting.
What?
Yeah. So
probably.
Okay.
Can I just tell you let me just read off these names, and these are real names. I'm sure they're great people and everything like that. But I feel like they're all following a template when it comes to country dudes' names. Okay, ready? Tucker Wetmore, Blake Witten, Hudson Westbrook, Braxton Keith. Like, that is country dude. Like that. Yeah. I'm curious if that's a real name, because I didn't know if they put it into like a country name generator, but those are country names, you know?
Yeah.
Love it.
First off, as somebody who every one of those names is one of my nephews, I'm offended.
I got that family too. Yeah.
Sikeston, Missouri to Maryville, Missouri, which is the opposite ends of the state, basically, is 7 hours and 8 minutes, 474 miles. Sikeston, Missouri to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I did not pick a specific town.
Yeah,
I just said Gulf of Mexico is a 7 to 8 hour drive if you go through Biloxi, Mississippi, according to ChatGPT. So
you could either go to Maryville or you could go to the Gulf of America.
Gulf of Mexico, go to Biloxi, Mississippi. Biloxi's got a lot of casinos.
Do they?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You know how I know that? Redneck family. Because here's the thing.
Braxton
if you have redneck family and they're gonna gamble,
where every casino
they're either going to Oklahoma or they're going to Mississippi. Especially Biloxi.
Okay.
Biloxi is the Las Vegas of white trash.
Ah. Sounds fun.
This is awesome.
It is fun. It is
oh my gosh.
Before we let you go, Tim said he had one question. I know he's got to go. You have a music project that
you do.
Tim and I are both big fans of. Can we shout out your SoundCloud and plug your album?
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually working on my next album. Hopefully going to drop it before the end of this year. So, yeah.
It was playing in my head for a week. And repeat.
What's the name?
Yeah,
what do we look up on SoundCloud?
Yes. So my artist name is Star Life. I based it off of just a couple fun little things. But my SoundCloud is, I believe, StarLithe. And this year I will be releasing both my EP and a full album on Spotify and Apple Music.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. That's super rad.
Thank you.
That is so cool.
It's just
Love it.
fun. It keeps me going, dude.
Yeah. No, I get it. Next thing you know, you'll be starting a podcast. That'd be crazy.
Hey, you never know. Crazy times.
Oh my gosh. Kyra, you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us. Huge fans of you. Huge fans of Nature Med. This will not be the last time you're on this podcast, just FYI.
Cool. I'm glad. It was good to come talk to you. Thanks for having me.